Hi guys, welcome to the stress webinar. I'm excited to share this very valuable information with you just because, number one, I know what it's going to do to your physical body, and number two, the amount of people that are walking around with stress is just like off the charts, okay? This is not a webinar about sitting on a mountaintop doing meditation. It's not a webinar to give you a bunch of things that may reduce your stress a little bit. It's not a seminar that is going to handle any of your actual root life problems. It's mainly focused on extracting the physical stress that is stuck in your body right now, okay? What you have to realize is all stress is accumulative. All stress, physical and mental stress. Some people have had a lot of stress in their life. Other people really had no stress. It's kind of interesting. I don't really meet these people that have no stress, but there's some. I had this one guy, for example. He used to be a rodeo clown, okay? So he would be fighting with these bulls, okay? Then he decided to join the Marines, and you know how stressful that is to go through basic training. So anyway, he was in combat, he jumped out of the plane, his chute didn't open, he hit the trees. He survived. He fractured his back. He got caught, held hostage for, I think, 30 days, tortured. Okay, here's a guy who has basically a massive amount of physical stress, massive blood pressure, because he's been through a lot. Other people have not had stress. So number one, you have to realize that stress is accumulative. Mental stress kind of sticks in your body. Physical trauma, surgeries, injury stick to the body. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to extract that stress. If you scan your body right now and just kind of feel for stress, like, is the stress located in your head? Is it in your neck? Is it in your jaw? In your upper back? Is it in the mid back, the lower back? The inside of your chest cavity? Is it in your abdomen? Where is your stress right now? Make mental note, because we're going to come back to that. I'm going to show you on quite a few people just to demo this, exactly how to do it, and there's different techniques to extract stress. I isolated the key areas in your body that tend to be the epicenters of stress, and then I developed a technique of how to get rid of it, and you're going to learn it, okay? It would be good if you had a partner watching this, okay? If you had someone to practice on back and forth. If not, that's fine, because I am going to show you the do-it-yourself version. You will need a tool like this. Comes with the manual, so you don't have to memorize anything. Also, if you take people that are gaining weight, okay? There's always a point where they start gaining weight, and so many people started gaining weight after a stress event. Okay, whether it's pregnancy, hysterectomy, even a tonsillectomy, and menopause, these stressors can kick in and affect the body big time. Okay. Also, think about the last time you were sick. I will bet you anything there was some stress that occurred just before that lowered your resistance and set you up for getting an infection. It's an area that people don't look at. What's involved is the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands sit on top of the kidney. You have two of them. They're the glands that react and adapt to stress. Whether it's increasing your pulse rate, turning things on, turning things off, running adrenaline. So if you are under a lot of stress over many, many years, the adrenal glands can then wear out, and then you have a lot of issues. So the main stress hormone that is created by the adrenal glands is called cortisol. Cortisol, I've done a lot of videos on this. I'm not going to give you a lot of data. All you need to know is that a lot of people have a constant high level of cortisol. They don't know it. And if the cortisol is too high, you have a whole bunch of symptoms, a lot of blood sugar issues too. And if the cortisol is too low, you have a whole set of additional symptoms. So if you want to find out more information about that, you can search my YouTube channel. So when the accumulation of stress starts building more and more and more, what happens, you're going to find that you're going to be very busy in your head, excessively thinking, solving problems 24/7, very busy. It might feel nervous, anxious, worry. You're solving problems. You're fixated on problems. So in a given day, you can have everything go right, but one problem, and all your attention is stuck on that one problem. So eventually it will cause a lack of focus and attention and concentration, okay? They call that ADD, where your attention is not on something you're thinking about over here, and it's hard to focus. You have to realize your power, your ability to complete things is your attention. So the more stress you have, the more it can really affect your productivity. You'll get brain fog, then you need caffeine, you need coffee. So recently I was at a grocery store and I looked across the street, there was a Starbucks. There was a line all the way around the building, and this was like in the afternoon. So there's a lot of people drinking a lot of coffee to stay awake, and they probably all have adrenal issues too. Also, it's going to eventually affect your tolerance to stress, your ability to tolerate incompetent people will be a problem. Your ability to tolerate insanities, they're going to rub you the wrong way. So that's really a good indication of how well your adrenals are, of how tolerant you are to life. If you can't tolerate, then your adrenals aren't that great. Over time, if cortisol stays high, you end up getting a lot of conditions, a lot of blood sugar issues, diabetes, because cortisol turns your muscle into sugar. You get inflammatory conditions like arthritis, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, osteoporosis, all sorts of health issues. Now there's a test that I used to do in my office called heart rate variability, and it measures how much stress is in a body. And it's fascinating because I have people come in and look at this graph. They're so stuck in stress mode, and I wouldn't even have to ask them if they're stressed. I would say, wow, you're stressed out. And they go, wow, how did you know? Now, if that needle is up and down, perfectly level, then their body is not in stress mode. And I would also say that, and they go, yeah, how do you know? How did you know that? My machine measures how much stress you have in your body, and we can pick it up. So when I mention technique, I'm talking about a technique that I'm going to teach you right now of how to extract stress from the body, and I would use this as a before and after to see the change. One of the biggest things that this technique is going to help you with is to improve your quality of sleep. Sleep is everything. It's going to help you cope with stress. It's going to help you rejuvenate. It's going to increase your tolerance for stress. In fact, you cannot heal the adrenals without sleep. It's impossible. How are you going to get rid of sleep problems if you have stress? And I'm talking about accumulative stress in your body. So yes, we need to go for long walks. We need to get space. We need to eat better. The first technique we're going to show you is how to get rid of stress in your neck. Okay, so that's going to be a very cool technique. And there's different points in the neck that we're going to work on. And then we're going to work on the points in the mid-back, and then the abdomen area, then in the upper part of the rib cage where a lot of people hold a lot of stress. So with that, let's get right to it and show you how to do this technique. Okay, so we're going to show you how to pull stress out of the body. The first technique is called the upper cervical. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take, this is meant to be done on someone else. So hopefully you have a twin or a partner. You can do this. I'm going to show you how to do it to yourself, but this is great to do it on someone else. Okay, so you want to use this finger here. This one, I'm not flipping you off. This is just the middle finger right here. And then your thumb, okay? And then we're going to press this way, right underneath her skull. And the most important thing is not to mess up your hair. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to, there's this little ridge right underneath the skull. You're going to slip right underneath it, and you're going to press in equally, okay? And you're going to take your hand and press in the forehead. So you're going to press in right like this. You feel that? And the key is to make sure that you're equal, like the thumb and the middle finger, the pressure, so you're not too much on one side. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm stimulating something in your neck that is triggering the kind of the brake pads, or it's called the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the relaxation points in the body. And the parasympathetic nervous system that comes out at this level of your spine kind of helps you sleep, it helps you relax. And so that's why the more that I do this, the more that you're going to feel like you want to take a nap. How's it feel so far?
I'm going to go to sleep.
You're going to go to sleep. I thought so. So I'm just pressing in right underneath that, and I'm just going to hold that for about an hour. No, just kidding. But if I keep doing this, she's going to feel very relaxed. So this is like the real key de-stressor point. It's going to pull the stress right out of your body. Now, I'll do this for a little bit, maybe for like a minute, and then I'll slip down to the second vertebra right here. This one is really good for sinus issues. So do you have any sinus issues?
No.
Did you want any sinus
No.
issues? Okay, good. So the sinus points, it just helps you breathe, and it's good for people that have sleep apnea. So again, I'm just pressing my fingers in this way, in the head that way, okay? So we're going to come right in there. All right, and then I'll slowly kind of come down, and I'm looking for tightness. If there's no tightness, I'm not going to press on it. Now, when I come down to the third vertebra, on her left side, there's a big knot. It's tight. So what I'll do is I'll just press a little more towards the left side, and it's going to make her neck feel really good. It's going to put the curve back in the neck. So I'm just going to creep down lower and lower till I get right here. This is C5. This one is really good if you have a sore throat or a raspiness, like your voice is hoarse. Let's say you're a musician, you sing, or you speak for a living and your voice is kind of raspy. You do this and it kind of opens up the voice. Now, do you feel this point, how tight this is right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just holding this pressure until it melts, okay? I'm not pressing that hard. And then now I'm going to go all the way down, very lower, like to the lower points. This is C6. This is really good for the thyroid points. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this until the entire neck is nice and loose, and she's going to feel very relaxed in the neck. So many people hold stress in the neck. Okay, look at right through in there. You feel this point right here? So I'm emphasizing the left side because it's kind of really tight on the left. Okay, so how does that feel?
Good.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you can, let's get the next victim, the next patient. And I'm just going to show you several examples. Okay, good. So this is great because now we can actually see what we're doing. Again, here's her skull. I'm going to slip right down up underneath her skull right through in here. And yeah, we have some tightness here. So this is a good one. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to invalidate you, but. Okay, relax your head. I want to get directly underneath her skull. So I'm going to press right in there, as you can see this right here. And tell me what that feels like. Good? Yeah. So the thing that you want to focus on is basically doing it equal, because you don't want to just put more pressure on one side unless it's tighter. Okay, relax your head. Now the only time you wouldn't want to do this, like this, is let's say they had a car accident. Have you ever had a car accident?
No.
Okay, good. And they were rear-ended, and their neck went like this, way back like this, and then now here I am putting their neck in the same motion. That's not going to be good. So for that one, you'd want to do the opposite. You would want to stress the other way. Okay, so tell me what you're feeling right now when I do that.
Feels good. No pain or anything.
Mm-hmm. Does it give any relaxation through any part of the body?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to feel like a calmness down the entire spine. So now I'm going to come down the second one. The third one would actually handle hiccups if you have this hiccup. Have you ever had hiccups?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you don't have one right now, do you?
No.
Okay, darn it. I wanted to show you, if you press on this point, it tends to clear it up. Okay, so now I'm on this point right here. This is pretty tight. Do you feel that? So I'm a little bit lower in her neck, but I think she's going to sleep really good tonight. But again, you have to just find out where the person is holding their tension and clear that out. Yeah, right there. Good. All right, good. How does that feel now?
Great.
You feel relaxed?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, good. So we're going to get the next victim. Now we're going to do another point that's very, very important. And this one, there's a little muscle underneath the collarbone, okay? This is the collarbone, called the clavicle. And you have these little muscles underneath here. No one ever works on these muscles, ever. And it's a source of a lot of tension, especially if you're sitting all day and your posture's bad. But what we want to do is we want to hook the finger up underneath these two bones and have her lift her head back. All the way back, all the way back, 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 back. Stretch it back. And I'm lifting up on the collarbone, okay? And so I'm spreading my hands out and then inward like this. Okay, go back. Good, go forward. Go back. Good, forward. Go back. And I'm lifting up as I'm pressing in, okay? And what will happen is she'll be able to tilt her neck all the way back after doing that. In fact, doing this will totally melt the neck in so many different cases. So, which one of you has a stiff neck? Let me just borrow you. So thanks for coming up. Give you a lot of examples how to do this. Okay, so tilt your head back. Okay, good. Go forward. Now. Okay, so I'm going to go back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. Okay, so now tilt your head back.
Oh, snap.
Did it just crack?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and tilt it back now. Let's see how, is it any looser?
Yeah, it is. But it's like I can go further.
Go further.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you keep doing this, you'll be able to have us turn his head actually at 365 degrees. But yeah, so we heard a little snap in there, which just kind of happens sometimes. Okay, well, thank you for coming up. Good, have a seat right here. All right, so then we're gonna let's have Roxana come up. So now that you know how to do the clavicle point, now we're gonna do something really cool. And we're gonna do the mid-back. It's for people that sit and slouch a lot and don't sit up tall. And basically in the mid-back, you have something called the sympathetic nervous system. Okay, that's the flight or fight. That's the stress part of the activation of the nervous system that helps you counter stress. And it's from the top of the upper back to kind of almost to the lower part. Okay? And there's this ligament on the front part of the vertebra on the inside that's really tight with a lot of people. So we're going to stretch that out. So when we're done, not only is she going to be, you know, very good posture, but she's going to feel very relaxed. Okay? So we're going to take your first finger and your thumb like this. Okay? See that right there? And then we're going to take this, and I like to grab the shoulder, but make sure you don't like press down here too, because it might be sore. But go ahead and tilt your head back. Now go forward. Good. And back. And I'm pressing and I'm pulling her body over this pivot point, and I'm keeping this part straight, and my elbow is tucked into my body. So I'm not like this, because I'm like, if I did like this, tilt your head back, be like, oh, this is like a lot of work, right? I'm going to keep my body directly behind her, put this right in the center, and have her do the work. Stretch over this point. It's kind of like a leverage point. Good. Come back. This one, it feels really good. It's important. It's a little hard to do if someone's really big, but just have them do it. Stretch right over your... Okay. Now, the thing about Roxana is like she's not too stiff, so you might feel a little more relaxed, but you're in pretty good shape. Good. Thank you. Let's bring our friend up here first, which seems to respond really good. So again, we're going to take this right here. I'm going to take this and press back, like tilt your head back over it. Good. Go forward. Back. Good. And back. Good. And I'm going to show you how to do this to yourself with a device in a little bit.
Oh, snap.
Did it snap again?
A little bit, yeah.
There's no extra charge for that. Okay. Okay, good. So he's really loose right here. So again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time if it's not tight, but you should see how tight some people are. Okay, so how did that feel?
It was good.
Feel relaxed?
I felt it in my ears.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. No extra charge for that too. Good. Have a seat right here. All right, so let's have you come up here. Okay, good. So we're going to take my hand here and we're going to tilt the head back. Yeah, good. Go forward and then back. Good. And then back. And then back all the way. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Have her do the work, okay? Come back. Yep, that's right. Don't let them cheat. Okay. Right there, good. Normally I'm used to working on really stiff people. You guys are not too bad. Okay, good. How does that feel?
Good.
Feels good, doesn't it? Okay, great. Have a seat. So that's how you do the mid-back, okay? All right, we saved the best for last. Okay, so what we're going to do, these points are a problem for everyone. The adrenal glands are deep, very deep on top of the kidney, deep in the abdomen, okay? So there's no way we can contact the adrenals. However, there's a lot of acupressure points around this. There's a lot of nerve points around the adrenals in this area. And in Chinese medicine, there's acupressure points that go right along the side. We're going to be kind of tapping into that and releasing a lot of the stress in this area around the adrenals. So her belly button is right here, okay? So we're going to just go right to the right of it, her right, and down about an inch. And we're going to press down in here. Now, I'm showing you how to do it on someone else, but we're going to show you how to do it on yourself. So I like to take my thumb and my middle finger again. I'm not flipping you off. And I'm going to press down in here to her tolerance. And I'm actually trying to find some tenderness. This isn't too bad. So if I don't feel any tenderness, I'm going to kind of sneak up a little bit. And I'm going to do all these points up on this line about an inch off the midline. Okay, so we're going to come in here, press in here, and I'm going to go to the left and to the right a little bit just to kind of find these stress pockets. Okay, let's see if I can find these. Yeah, she has a couple right here. And then once I find it, I'll just hold it for a little bit until it releases. And what I'm doing is I'm extracting stress from this area of her body. And this produces some really cool effects. Relaxation, sleep. Like I've had people have the best sleep in their life. So this is a really important area of the body that like no one works on. So now as I'm coming up to the right side, you do have the gallbladder on the right side, but that's kind of tucked through this area. It's not going to be a problem when you press on that. You just have to press to the tolerance of the person so you're not going too deep because it could be sore. Again, that's why I like to have you do this on yourself so you can adjust the pressure so you're not going too deep. So some people say, well, is it dangerous to press in your abdomen? I'm like, no. Why would it be? Was it dangerous to press in your muscle in your thigh? I mean, you have a layer of fat, okay? And you also have, I didn't mean to say that. Everyone has like a layer of fat. And then the organs are tucked in there with a lot of connective tissue. And I've been doing this for like 29 years. And it's not a problem. It's pretty safe. Get in there. But like you massage your muscles, but how many times do you work on the muscles in your abdomen? Like rarely. And some of the organs, like the kidneys and the liver points, I mean, people never work on these points. But I'm coming through here, right up through in here on this side, and I do find some tension. I'm just going to press on that a little bit until it releases. And of course, I'm going a little bit faster than I normally would because sometimes I'll spend maybe 2 or 3 minutes just on the right side. Okay, how does that feel?
Good.
Does it feel uncomfortable?
No.
Okay, good. So now I'm going to go to the opposite side and press on that. Now, if the person has low back pain, what you do is you press on the exact opposite side on the front. Bam, gone. So you want to find out where it's hurting on the back, like just draw a line right through it and press in the front. It gets rid of low back pain like that. So on everyone, you're going to find like 1 or 2 points that are really, really tight. And then you'll work on those more aggressively. So I'm going to press in here and just kind of work that out. And on some people, it'll be very, very tender. So you want to go kind of light on them. Some people have they have a huge belly. You can still do this, but you will, because you're working on the superficial points more than anything, that connect. Because an acupressure point, do you know what an acupressure point is?
No.
Okay. An acupressure point is an area on the surface of the skin that kind of connects on the inside. You have all these electrical circuits, so it's kind of like a switchboard. I can press this point and it can affect inside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm falling asleep.
Are you? Good, so it's working. So a lot of these are nerve points you can look at them like nerve points because they really are. So acupressure points are communication channels. If you take a look at the nervous system being the freeway, the acupressure points are the side roads. So they're just other forms of communication that you can affect. Like right through in here. This is a good one. And if you think about the last time you were stressed, I will guarantee you have a lot of tension in your abdomen after that, and you'll feel like, why is it so hard in it? Because you have the adrenaline, the adrenals pumping a lot of hormones, and then it tightens up all the muscles. You start working on that, it gets rid of stress. So what we're doing now is we're handling, she's sleeping now, we're handling physical stress that is stuck in your body for years. I mean, probably what, 30 years, 35 years?
Yeah, right.
Now, you have some people that have never experienced stress in their life. And I'm like, do you live on planet Earth? And other people have experienced a tremendous amount. But if I keep doing this and I'm just holding these pressure points, like I'm trying to keep a broad content. I'm not like digging up, like look at how wide my thumb is, okay? I have huge thumbs. So that comes in handy. So, but if you have this little tiny thumb, that could be, it's like sticking a little thing in there, it could irritate the area. So you want to keep a broad contact, almost like take your two fingers and kind of separate them out and press in there. And, okay, good. Good. So now you ready for a nap?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So let's bring the next person up. Thank you very much. Okay, so just relax your arms right here. Where's your belly button?
Right there.
Okay, so we're going to just start, and again, 1 inch off the midline, taking my two fingers, and you can use your thumb or several fingers to equal the size of the thumb if you have if you don't have a thumb like mine. And come right in there. And we're just going to work out. He has some tension in here. Have you ever experienced stress before?
Stress? Nah, not
No?
really.
Okay. It's a new concept for people, but right through there. So we're just going to press in there. And again, I'm watching the eyeballs to make sure they don't pop out because I don't want to press too hard. And then so each time I do this, I might do it a couple times a week or maybe once a week. Each time I do this, I'm going to feel like less and less tension to the point where I go right in there and like there's nothing. There's no resistance. So that's the goal. So if you can do it on yourself, I would do it every night before you go to bed. Now I'm going fast for time. But I wanted to see if there's any, let's see right through in there. That's kind of a tight spot right there. Okay, now I'm going to do the opposite side. If the right side is not sore, chances are the opposite side will be sore. It's always going to be one or the other. So if you find that there's like 1 or 2 points that you find that's constantly sore, those are the points that you're going to focus on. So that's just kind of an example. Now, let's say he was going to do it to himself. He'd use this treatment device. And it has these longer prongs and the shorter ones. You want to use the long one. You'd want to have him grab the tool, and now we're going to position this little thing right on this point. Okay, so I want you to kind of press just like you felt me doing it.
Uh-huh.
And tell me if you can feel the same kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Feel that?
Am I supposed to be like moving up?
Well, yeah, just start with 1 point and just
Okay.
press in there. Does it feel similar?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And the reason why it feels similar is because I developed this tool after my thumb for myself. Because like I was the last guy to get treatments. I never got treatment. So I'm like, I'm going to do it myself. So I developed this device that mimics my hand because we're going to show you the neck points as well. And we just come in here. And then he would, before he goes to bed, right? He's in his bed. He puts this point on there. and try to actually get through all of it without falling asleep. But by the time he gets all the way to the top, I mean, so many times I'll wake up and I'm like, oh wow, where's that device? It's right next to me. I almost rolled on it. Like I literally fall asleep while I'm doing this because it's releasing a lot of stress. Is it creating any effect on you yet?
Yeah, it's very comfortable.
Yeah. It's interesting how it gives people so much relief. I think because you have the kidneys in there, you have the solar plexus, which are all these nerve connections, you have all these connections to the adrenal points, you have the gallbladder, the digestion. Have you heard of the flight or fight mode? Have you ever heard of the flight or fight? Okay, it's called the sympathetic nervous system. That's like the stress mode. Then you have another system, and I'm going to give you this big word. It's called enteric. And that's part of the system that's below your awareness that actually runs all your digestion. And that's really another system that we're tapping into right now. We're actually stimulating it to relax. A lot of stuff that's going on in your gut, nerve-wise, can affect your head. Like if you ate the wrong thing and you feel bloated, you're going to feel funky in the head. How many of you experienced that? Yeah. So your digestion can affect your mood. Big time. There's a connection. So when you release the tension in your gut, especially if you have like IBS or irritable bowel syndrome or inflammation that creates like spasms, it gives you a lot of relief in the head. Now, when we come up to these points right through in here, like on his right side, it's a little sore, right?
Yeah.
So now you adjust the pressure so it's just right for you. He's hitting something called the phrenic nerve that goes right up to his diaphragm, up to the right neck. He's going to release all the right neck tension. So the more he does this point here, he's going to have like less tension on the right side up here. Even like headaches will go away on the right side, shoulder stuff. So anything right here will melt this side right here. If he does the other side, he'll actually releases the other side here. Okay? How does that feel?
Really good.
Okay, good. So now he'll do the other side here. Take your belly button and just go right to the side of it. And you want to go, see how I'm rocking left and right? And you just find the spot. Find the sweet spot where it's like, ooh, that's a little thing that smarts. And you just, now don't do this with a knife, okay? Don't do that with a sharp object. Use it, the massage tool. That I'm just joking. Delayed humor here. But it'll, you want to use something that's kind of like a dull point. And, okay, and then you just kind of inch up a little bit. A little sore?
Yeah, right.
So this is something he would need to do every single night, and to the point where there's no soreness. And he would find that his ability to relax. Now, recently I saw this, so I was watching this movie. It was Lincoln. I mean, here's a guy who, his dad beat him growing up. His mom died. I think his sister and his brother died. And then his first wife, or first love died. And then several of his kids died. I mean, like, can you imagine how many losses this guy had, right? And then he becomes the president, which is a no-stress job. I mean, he was, I think, I'm 53. He was like 53. He looked like a grandfather. He was look old. So stress, believe it or not, does age you. I'm going to put some years, give you some gray hairs, especially if you have kids. So this basically kind of pulls the stress out so you can go back into life and recharge and start over again. Because you don't want to just keep carrying the stress around your whole life. Might as well kind of have a blank slate, clean it out, because our bodies are sponges and we pick up stress. I think he's actually asleep. Did you fall asleep?
No, I'm not.
Did you fall asleep?
Yeah, I did. Got it right.
See, it worked.
I'm not gonna lie.
And he did it to himself. I didn't even do anything. Yeah, so this is a really amazing. So a lot of you guys watching already have the tool, because I actually hear the success. If you don't have this tool, you need to get it. Because I fly, everywhere I go, I travel, I bring it with me. In the plane, I do my neck points. Because you sit on these little, I mean, you flew to California, right? And you're trying to, with your neck, get this thing out, sit back, and just kind of just, like, I'll have people like, where did you get that? Can I borrow that? I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm going to keep it on my neck. So it's good for that and also for jet lag, because you can actually work on these points and kind of rejuvenate yourself. Okay, then we come to this point, right through in here. Is that a little sore? Yeah. Yeah, and then he's going to work on that, and then what will happen is you're going to feel like you're going to take layers of this stuff off. And it could take a while. And if you had like a fight with your spouse, you could find that you can like put the stress back in, but at least you have the tool to pull it out.
You said throw it at him?
No.
Oh, you?
You have the tool as not as a weapon, but as a therapy to help yourself so you can sleep, so you're not thinking about it all night long. Or you could throw it at him too. Yeah, it's plastic, it won't break, don't worry about it. I'm just kidding, you don't want to throw it on your spouse. Okay, good, so now tell me, just sit up for me for a second. Face the camera. How do you feel?
A little lightheaded, but I feel a lot better.
Yeah. Do you feel like more stress-free?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome.
I feel more relaxed.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the goal. Thank you. We did it. Okay. So we're going to show you how to do this on yourself. You need a device like this. This is built after my own hand. Okay. And this is great for different sizes of people. Look at the real wide one here. This is for the top part of the neck. This is for different parts of the neck. This is for different size people. We're going to take the widest one on myself, hook it on the back of my neck, scoot this down on a tall back chair or the couch. I think this works better than using it on your pillow when you're going to sleep at night, because you're at a certain angle and you can sit back and just let these points press right into your neck. And there's a sweet spot that you want to hit that you'll just feel like the maximum release of stress, and you'll just want to take a nap. I fell asleep. Sometimes I'll do this on my desk. I'll put my feet up and I'll sit back and I will just like go right out. This is like the most important acupressure point for your entire spine to feel relaxed and to melt, because you're hitting a point called the parasympathetic, the origin of the parasympathetic nervous system, which is right there. And that's the turn-off switch. That's like the rest and digest. That's your relaxation points. And then you do that for a little while, and then you come down to the next point through here. Second one. And I had a history of a lot of neck problems, so I do this a lot to keep my neck nice and relaxed. Okay, then I'll inch down to the middle part, like C5. And this is, again, really good for tension in your upper shoulders, and also good for your, believe it or not, it's going to help your voice. Yeah, hoarseness. Because what you're doing is you're stimulating these points that bring circulation into the entire front part of your neck. And I always tell people, don't believe me, just do it, and just tell me what you feel. Be skeptical, and prove it to yourself. And 9 out of 10 times it seems to work, so you should try it. Okay, so you want to start out with the first one, second, third, fourth, and just kind of like ease down to the lower part of your neck. Okay, so that's how you do the neck point. Now, this one here, you want to go right up underneath the clavicle, collarbone, and you're going to stretch back like that. So if you're enjoying this content, go ahead and share it with someone that could really benefit from it.